Now that you've gotten a firm grasp on design and animation inside of Flash, no doubt you'll want to exert more control over your timelines, as well as add true interactivity with button scripting and navigation. For this, Flash's powerful built-in programming language, ActionScript, saves the day. ActionScript 3.0 is the most powerful release to date, allowing us to do basic tasks such as button scripting and timeline control, all the way up to more advanced needs, such as dynamically loading data, images, and MP3 files. However, we do need to walk before we run. So, let's become properly introduced to ActionScript as well as familiar with the panel that we're going to rely on for the rest of this training series, which is the Actions panel.
In this lesson, we're going to be introduced to ActionScript 3.0, Flash's powerful built-in programming language. ActionScript lets us bring our Flash movies and projects to life. We can do anything as basic as controlling timelines and animation or making buttons work, to more advanced tasks such as creating complex games or loading data or media real time. To get started, let's open up the rccar1.fla file found in this lesson's folder. And before we can dive any deeper into ActionScript 3.0, we first need to become very familiar with the Actions panel. To open the Actions panel, go up to Window and choose Actions. The Actions panel becomes our go-to place when it's time to add scripts to buttons, movie clips, control timelines, or just about anything. You can think of the Actions panel as a built-in script editor, checker, and organizer. Let's take a look at the anatomy of the Actions panel since we're going to be spending most of our time here. On the right-hand side of the Actions panel, you're going to see the script window. This is basically like a little notepad where we can type or add scripts using any of the menus shown on the left or the top. If you're more comfortable, you can type scripts directly in, like I'm doing here. Or you can use some of the accompanying menus from the Actions toolbox shown here on the left. Or you can use the Add a New Item to the Script button at the top. Let's take a look at the Actions toolbox on the left. You can think of this as a huge file cabinet of all of the action scripts built into Flash. All of our different scripts are broken down into packages, shown here. If you grab the scroll bar and scroll down, you'll see that there are different packages for different types of tasks. For instance, you'll see things related to geometry, to filters, media. You'll also see things, for instance, related to animation and video. The bottom line is all of the scripts we'll ever need can be found in the Actions toolbox on the left, and you can add them either by double-clicking or dragging and dropping, as we'll see later on. At the very bottom of the script window, take note of this tab that shows up. This tab shows us exactly where we are, and this is very important because as we add scripts, we want to make sure that we're adding them to the right place. Scripts can be added to a number of different locations. If you're working in ActionScript 2.0, which is the previous version, you can add scripts directly to buttons, movie clips, as well as to keyframes on the timeline and external ActionScript files. However, since we're focusing on ActionScript 3.0, it's important to note that there are two places where we can add scripts, which are directly on the timeline in keyframes or in external ActionScript files. The tab shown here reads Buttons:1. This lets us know that any scripts we type into this window will be added to the Buttons layer on frame 1. In the upper right-hand corner, take note of the Script Assist button. If you click on that, you'll see the top panel above the script window expands. The Script Assist is sort of a wizard or helper, which we can use before we become comfortable enough to actually type ActionScript in by hand. It allows us to add scripts to the script window only by either using the Actions toolbox on the left or the Add a New Item to the Script button at the top. For now, let's keep Script Assist off. As you add actions to the script window, for instance, if I type in the word stop, which is a basic action, you'll see that these different buttons appear at the top in this toolbar. These allow us to check our scripts using the check syntax button, to auto-format lots of code. It also allows us to search for different code and to target different objects within our movie. We'll become familiar with these as the lessons go on. For now, you want to make sure that there's nothing in this script window and that it's blank. At any point, to tuck away the Actions panel, if you want to see the movie underneath, you can click on the double arrows in the upper right-hand corner and collapse this down to Icon and Label View only.